Welcome back, everyone. Game number 3 is coming up. The ace game, always the best because everything on the line. The winner of this goes on to play Zoke. In the winner's game, the loser gets to face off against Salt the Wound, attempting to get into the decider place. Who will advance? Currently tied 1-1. We're in game, so let's jump straight to the action. Spawning down in the bottom left-hand position as the yellow Zerg player, it is HaNfy, who represents Alien Invasion. And his opponent up in the top right, the red Terran from Mouse Sports, it's HeroMarine. Now, game number 1, HeroMarine looks solid. Both played what I'd like to consider a pretty straight up standard game. Nothing too crazy, nothing too worrying. Game number 2 though, HaNfy was like, roach all in. Make all the roaches, march them across to his base and dance. And he literally did dance. And it was good. And it was successful. And he leveled out the series. Will he do the same thing again? He's checking for proxy barracks. You can see he's on attack command with this. Just trying to make sure that everything is going pretty well. Make sure he's not getting cheesed. He doesn't want to get cheesed. Nothing is worse than a cheese after you've just cheesed yourself. Nobody wants that much. But HeroMarine mixing things up. Clearly not too impressed with that. He's going to go for a Reaper expand. We know that because Barracks first, followed up by Gas, equals Reaper. If it was Gas then Barracks, then it was going to be a fast factory. Pretty much the rules, the way things go. Could potentially also be a reactor on the Barracks, but it's less likely, okay? It's less likely before anyone nitpicks me about it. 9 times out of 10, that's what you would see. Anyway, Hatchery coming down now. Hatch first, very normal opening. After thoroughly checking that there were no proxies. Like, look at this checking. It's just like, no proxies. Proxies could be there. One possible place that it could be. Anyway, all looking good. Things fairly safe for the moment. The Reaper should be about to pop out once we get up to the gas requirement. Boom. Reaper starts. Right on the money. Yeah, everything going solid. Meanwhile, just going fairly safe, fairly steady over at HaNfy's side. HaNfy busy getting down his spawning pool. Everything looking pretty good. And, well, he's sending another drone down. So what's he got planned here? No gases as of yet, but he did take the gases later on Whirlwind. This is a 2 spawn position map though, so he does have to be a little bit more careful, just in case of the early pressure, and also due to drops. There's a lot of dead space on Derelict Watcher to come into the main. Also, the third's very vulnerable to drops, so something to be cautious about. The watchtowers are also in very off-line positions, but useful to be held by a Zerg, simply because then you've got the option to know if drops are coming through, or you're much more likely to detect them even if your overlords don't. So any Zerg players watching, definitely hold watchtowers. It's an important thing to do. HeroMarine expanding off the back of these Reapers just as expected. Should be about to start up his factory and go into Hellions off the back of it. 2 Reapers, 4 Hellions. Give Queens a hard time. Queens and Lings will struggle to deal with that. So, nice play here by HeroMarine. The important thing is conservation of his Reapers. He's got to keep both alive. If one goes down, it's going to be a big problem in terms of trying to defend that. A couple of Lings are on their way out. Reaper trying to sneak through. Note the Queen pops as well. HeroMarine really has to keep this alive though. That's really his sole aim at the moment. He's going to back that out. Trying to kite the Zerglings once he knows he's a bit more safe. He was just cautious in case the Queen was at the natural base, and it's right to be so. But now sees the Queen pop, just still going to keep kiting. Only 1 kill on that Reaper, but 1 kill more than he necessarily needs. Second Reaper not actually rallied across as of yet, just sitting back defensively. Quite interesting decision there. Maybe doesn't want to reveal it yet, just due to, if you see 2 Reapers, you can always guarantee there'll be 4 Hellions following that up, and it could trigger a Roach Run to come down early. So just good control here. Really everything looking fairly safe in terms of what HeroMarine's doing. He's getting the star pool once more, so we'll be going for those Banshee, but he's been very cautious to scout for any roaches. But the first 2 gases now just getting taken. Similar build to what we saw previously. The roaches once again being forced back, trying to keep good control. Queens happily starting to chip away at everything that could be coming through here. And well, all is going good for now. Zergling still bouncing about, having a bit of a good time. But yeah, I think everything is fairly cool. Everything fairly solid, and with the star pool finishing up, we should see a switch over Oh, actually, maybe not. We're not going to see the switch over. Stim gets started. Okay, so not going to be getting the Banshee swallowing this up. Instead, just a very fast Viking to hunt Overlords, and then likely going into some medevac production. So this is quite cool. It's a bit more unusual. The Hellions and Reapers are going to start trying to work down at the Queens. Only 2 Hellions at the moment. 3rd and 4th still making their way across. Of course, the Hellions don't want to take damage because they can't magically heal up by taking loads of drugs, whereas the Reapers can. But the Queen's starting to just take a bit more damage. Rotoron getting started. Zergling's still bouncing about. The 3rd hatchery is in production, but it's quite a long way off. And for the moment, HeroMarine hasn't actually scouted that. He's just continuing on with the pain. The Queen's one has enough for a transfuse, and that's actually quite important. If that's not focused down first, and some transfuses were able to be achieved, it would be a little bit frustrating. No, there's about to be a 2nd transfuse as well on another Queen, which would make it a lot more difficult for this to work. So the opportunity window is now fading for HeroMarine in order to deal a good amount of damage. But on the bright side, he's transitioning out of this beautifully. He's getting on another barracks. Stim is about half done. His wall-off's complete. Still trying to poke him with these Reapers where he can. The transfuses, have any been spent? Yeah, yes, one has. So one transfuse has gone down there, just trying to keep everything alive. The Reaper's moving up first to take aggro from the Queens so that they can heal up and the Hellions can therefore stay alive. But 11 Roaches on their way through. 11 Roaches shuts this push down massively well. And well, if he's able to shut it down, that's when actually HeroMarine has to fully transition and then defend against the push. 11 Roaches is a significant amount. It's actually more than that now. It's going up to 14 of them. Wow, huge Roach production. This is going to be very similar to game number 2 in just a massive push making its way forward. And does HeroMarine have enough to defend this? Well, he's got a couple of Marauders and the Widow Mines coming in. So he's adjusted his build in order to be able to defend against that sort of pressure. But for the moment, he hasn't scouted anything to indicate it. May have been worthwhile spending a scan, but where would you scan in this situation? Sees a couple of Roaches moving forward, but does he know just how many there are? Well, he's about to discover, sees them all, and this is where he has to make some emergency responses. Widow Mine's coming down. He's adding on additional bunkers. If he holds this, he's in a good spot because this is a huge investment by a Zerg player. So scouting it early is incredibly important. The Viking even landing too. Roach is trying to get shut down early, buying more time. Widow Mines moving forward, but with a good concave, HeroMarine is able to force back a lot of these forces. Full retreat in operation, and well, this has not worked out the same way it did in game number 2 for HaNfy, as he takes significant losses. The counter push from HeroMarine could be incredibly effective as well, especially if he keeps this up. More Roaches in production, Banelings, that's nearly done in order to get some defensive Banelings, but all these Roaches getting taken out. Look at the resources loss difference, 300 to 1900. That's fairly huge, and HeroMarine is still going. He's picking up the Roaches as they trickle through, and in small numbers, Roaches not that scary, especially when there's Marauders in your composition. A few reinforcing from behind, and with the aid of the Zerglings, that's going to help. But some good Widow Mine hits, whittle down the number of Lings, but a quick pickup and retreat now in operation from HeroMarine. He's done the damage that he wanted to and is retreating, feeling pretty comfortable. He's got his 3rd command center coming down. He's got the 1-1 upgrades coming down. He's got combat shield nearly done, and he's still got units on the map as well as a good number of medevacs. He's forced a huge number of units, and he's ahead in the worker count, although he doesn't know that. But what he does know is that he can continue on with this pressure. Conservation of units once again becoming critical for him. A huge Widow Mine hit goes down. HeroMarine, even with the chatter modes, just being like, oh yeah, I like my Widow Mines, after the dancing Roaches. Oh, and there's the counter dance. It's infinitely more effective if your opponent did it to you first. And now, HeroMarine is feeling good. He's pushing in. He's going to start boating down the Queens, preventing the production of the Zerg player. Transfuse goes down just before it dies. Good use of the energy, maximizing efficiency. The Queen survives with 5 HP. And HaNfy countering. Didn't quite get the dance in there yet. Doesn't feel that confident for the moment, but I like this. I like the counter dancing. These two, of course, being a German cup. They are all German. They probably play together frequently. Widow Mine's getting a couple of hits down there. Infantry moving forward. More infantry rallied across the map. But there's a good number of Roaches here now, and a good number of Lings. A pickup, boost away though from the medevacs. They're heading straight towards the main base. Are they going to get anything good? Can they attack units as they come up into the main? Are they going to be able to get into a suitable position to do so? No. Good positioning by HaNfy. HeroMarine is going to be forced to retreat and float down his 3rd orbital command to go and get an additional mining base. But he's still level on the work account. Plus those 3 mules puts him ahead economically. And HeroMarine probably not feeling too bad. Maybe preemptively dancing. Perhaps. Perhaps though, HaNfy is still in a lot of trouble. This small group of units not too threatening. Overseer essential, in case there's any more mines there. We've all seen what those mines can do to a big group of banelings all trundled up together. But with additional gases being taken, as well as... do we have a spire yet? No, we don't. So no spire is there yet. But soon, we should see one. Zergling, Baneling, Medalisk, of course. The standard of compositions. Medevac count now up to 7. Third base getting taken. Unfortunately, one lone Zergling is going to deny it. Why something that large can't land on something that small, I will never know. But who knows? But there it goes. On its way down. HeroMarine now. Just going, okay. I got 1-1 upgrades. My 2-2s is going to start the second my armory is completed. As long as you select it. Select them now. There we go. No. There we go. 1 starts. He's waiting for the money. He's waiting. We're waiting. There we go. Okay. 2 starts. Sort of instantly after. But Baneling's morphing in. Counter push potentially coming into effect soon. +2 melee attack, but no carapace yet researched. A decent number of infantry. 2-2 upgrades, of course, as I mentioned, coming down. More factories being added into the mix. We've got a tank in the composition, which is something that we don't often see. Gonna just aid in this defense. This is HeroMarine spreading out. He's getting the biggest of biggest concaves he could possibly muster, in the hope that that will prevent the Zerg from just marching in. But there's a lot of Banelings. There's 19 more on the way, adding into the 11 that's already there. Makes 30. And 30 Banelings is good fun for tanks, if they can get the hits. Gets a nice scan, sees what's coming, but in now comes the engagement. Nice flanks, getting prepared, trying to minimize the splash damage. Just plowing forward. HeroMarine gets annihilated. The smiley face, I'm waiting for the dancing roaches, because they have done all of the damage at the moment. Pulling back, but the third is about to get slaughtered. No dancing as of yet. Units trying to sneak in from the back, but a lot of SCVs taking damage. Note though, a huge ton of them get pick up in the medevac, just trying to retreat back. Is it going to be enough though? We're keeping a good eye out. Medevac still retreating. Bunker will go down. The tank trying to aid in the defense, but unfortunately, the orbital command has been taken out. And well, SCVs being pulled. They're going to try and get into this action. HeroMarine is unfortunately not looking to be in the most comfy of spots, especially with a mass rally across towards his base. And, well, for the moment, he's forcing bad HaNfy. This game back and forth, HaNfy not quite able to get enough units quite yet. HeroMarine, though, has taken significant losses. He's lost the third base, which I suppose isn't that significant. It's just put things really where we'd like to see HaNfy be. But HaNfy, once again retreating. HeroMarine moving forward. No counter dance. The current karma of the game is in favour of HaNfy, just due to the dancing not occurring. But overall, the series karma, it's pretty closely tied. Medevac's moving forward. They're just taking a peek, being like, you still don't have anything that can shoot at me other than a queen. Good to know. But HeroMarine securing up... HaNfy securing up the 4th base. Is that going to be enough? Well, we've got to keep an eye out on it. There is a 3rd CC getting remade. It's nearly finished construction. That's going to be important for HeroMarine to come and secure that up. He needs that additional economy. He needs the additional mules. But what he really needs is to let the music flow through him and to dance away the night. They both do. God, I can't get over the mass dancing. Anyway, on a serious note though, HeroMarine, he's getting very mind down his mate. He needs to get this 3rd base up. He needs to keep that going. He can't keep trading, even in this cost-effective way. The tank lines are nice, but unfortunately... Actually, no, +1 carapace hasn't been researched, so the tanks do still one-shot these Zerglings and the Banelings, but some Lings running in first. The Banelings now going to try and plow through this, but with such a long tank line, retreat is in full effect. HeroMarine, with a good number of Marines, is going to lay chase, trying to pick up anything that could come through. Is it going to be enough? Well, I'm just trying to keep a good eye. These, of course, are the engines that are incredibly frustrating to try and deal with. My mouse has decided that it doesn't want to work, which is always frustrating. Yeah, creep tumors spreading into a Marine army, not so great. A lot of Banelings, a lot of Medalisks, and a lot of Zerglings trying to make their way through. Are we going to be able to see HeroMarine finish this out when he's got a good solid army supply lead? He's got a lot of tanks, but the engagement is coming forward now. Banelings rolling through Zerglings, trying to get the connection. Tanks still staying alive, but the Roaches cleaning those up from behind. The Banelings got some good engagements, but unfortunately the tank line just seems to go on indefinitely, and the Marines just don't have an answer to it for the moment. And well, Roaches trying to engage through here. The Banelings did all that they could, but it wasn't unfortunately enough. And well, now we just see HeroMarine moving on and in, trying to do as much damage as he can. And HaNfy looking to be in a bit of a problematic position, unfortunately. So, got to keep an eye out for the GG. HeroMarine with the offensive, well not offensive, the aggressive smiley face there. These two obviously have a good bit of banner between them. The hatchery about to fall, the Marines tearing through everything. HaNfy has got a stream of units coming across. 2-2 of course done for HeroMarine is always important. But the GG not yet coming. HaNfy just taking a moment to compose himself. Thinking he'd leveled it back out, got himself in a good spot, but unfortunately HeroMarine looks nigh on unstoppable now. He's 100 supply over his opponent. He's killed a hatchery, about to kill the third hatch. Pretty much unstoppable now. And HaNfy just ready to mount one last defense. Streams zerging down. The tanks annihilate everything. GG is called. And HeroMarine will take the series 2-1 to go and face off against Zoke in the next round.